What's going on, everybody? Sean Ross here, and welcome back to the channel, guys. The wait is finally over. After waiting an extra week, the manga for Tokyo Ghoul has finally returned, and it feels so good because last week just felt like a dull week because Monday there was no Tokyo Ghoul chapter, and then on a Friday I didn't have a My Hero Academia chapter. It felt very weird, but it was nice just to relax that week. Didn't have a lot going on, but now Golden Week is over. Tokyo Ghoul is back, and we are on chapter 171, and the title for this week's chapter is Disappear. But waiting that extra week, guys, I have been anticipating this latest chapter because I want to know what's going to go down with Uta's character, because that cliffhanger of watching Uta lose to Renji, him getting thunderstruck, impaled on that tower, and then falling down into the blank whiteness, I don't know what Ishida has in store for Uta's character. Is he going to live? Is he going to die? I am hoping that this makes me feel better about that cliffhanger, but it almost feels like we're stalling right now because Ishida has been teasing us with Kaneki and Furuta, and I desperately want to get to that because I want answers, but right now we're going to have to trek through Uta and Renji and Amon versus Donato, I think, before we get to Kaneki and Furuta. So that's how I'm feeling right now, guys. I want to dive into this week's latest chapter. So without further ado, chapter 171, entitled Disappear. And I'm on the first page, and we see this alleyway, it looks like. We see graffiti all over the walls. I guess I lost. And you see Uta lying on the ground right there. We see his tattooed arm in the bottom panel, middle panel right here. Oh, so warm. I feel so alive. Disappear 171. Felt like this back then too. I think I'll be able to kill him today, right? But what if I'm the one that ends up being killed, you know? Every day was so exciting. Say, do you remember that time when we both wrecked both our legs? Yeah, Itari carried us home. So they're reminiscing right now. The final showdown they both wished for has now ended. So we're done with the fight. So, because you can see Yomo standing there as Uta's laying down on the ground, and he's kind of reminiscing. Uta's like, this right here, this moment fighting against Renji, he's been waiting for this. He's been anticipating this. This is the moment that made him feel alive. So I'm very curious. I'm hoping we dive a little bit more in this chapter, but I like just the fact that Uta's like, remember that time we both broke our legs and Itari had to carry us home? That's just cool, just to see them kind of reminiscing about them in their younger days. That's cool. No matter what broke, no matter how much blood was shed, back then, nothing mattered. Today was the most fun I've ever had. Damn, Uta, you must have led a boring life until now. Jesus. All right, so that's the first page. That's a nice zoom in on Uta's face right there. I like that. But it's over now, huh? All of it. And he's like reaching up for the sky, like trying to touch the sky or the sun or the moon. I don't know if it's day or night. You never know. You going over to Yoshimura's place? It didn't sit right with me. I felt like you were heading off to some faraway place. So kind of like leaving him behind in a way. Renji, do you remember what I said about your sister? I told you I'd help you carry out your revenge for her. And we have a little silhouetted out flashback to when they were on top of that building in volumes, I think, 12 or end of volume 11. End of volume 11 it was. And when they were younger in the 4th Ward, and Yomo was out for revenge seeking Arima. So nice little panel right there. And we tried so hard to get her back. Back from Kishio Arima. But in the end, we just couldn't. Next page we see Yomo just staring down at Uta. But I guess none of that matters anymore, though, does it? The truth is, I couldn't change, despite the changings of the world around me. Stuck in his ways, that's Uta. And now, everyone's gone. Our parents, siblings, even the people from the 4th district, gone. All of them. This world is no. So what's he gonna say here? The world is, and he's like, no. Is that Yomo saying no, or is that Uta saying no? Let's see. So no. Once upon a time, I too harbored the same feelings as you. I believed this world is nothing but loss. I lost my sister. I lost Toka and Ayato's father. But despite all that, I tried to convince myself that things like this were inevitable. And that's the burning down of Inteku. Until I lost Inteku, we see the flames and stuff bursting out of the windows there, and he's with Toka at the ending of part 1. When that place disappeared, I simply didn't understand. What should I have done? What could I have done to save it? What if I had struggled and fought like Ken? Maybe then things would have turned out differently. Oh, this is bringing me back to ending of part 1. This is awesome. And at the battle in Cochlea, I almost lost Toka and Ayato. That's when it dawned on me. If I don't want to lose anyone, I have to stand and fight. And he put up a decent fight against Arima back then, even though he got like stabbed in the neck. It was insane. So yeah. And we just have Uta, he's just with his blacked out eyes just staring back at him. And then perhaps I will have gained something at the end of it all. And we see Uta kind of getting back up, gained something. Toka and Ken's child. That's right. Because he was happy at the wedding. Because remember how drunk he was? He got drunk and he was so happy. He was like on people's shoulders. Like, yeah, this is like his happy moment. Like the legacy living on. He's getting to see his niece grow up and start a family with Ken Kaneki. Yeah, that would be like a great happy moment in Yomo's life. Toka and Ken's child. To me, the two of them and the life that is about to be born, it made me really happy. And this is kind of making me even think right now, I am hoping that the child does end up being born, because all this buildup and the child doesn't survive, that would be cruel, Ishida. That would be very, very cruel. It made me really happy, bringing them together and seeing them stay together even now. The two of them taught me that this world is not just loss and despair. He's clenching his fist. The same goes for you, and he's speaking to Uta. If you want to eat me, then feel free to come by again. And you see like the exclamation point where like Uta's shocked at this. He's like, Nani? If that's what you want, then do it. But I want to live to be a grand uncle. So I'll fight you with everything I've got. Just stop causing trouble for everyone else. I don't care how much you bother me. Just leave everyone else alone. Special offer, 'cause you're my friend. I like that. Very cool. And I think Uta's done at this point. He's like, nah, I don't want to eat you. Oh, yeah, I see. We are already adults, aren't we? And we see a smile on Yomo's face. I really like that bottom panel, though, of Uta. That is drawn very clean. It's very well detailed. I like that bottom panel right there of Uta. Need me to carry you? You've gotten really strong, Renji. By the way, Renji, when Kaneki came to my shop with Toka, I had a feeling. I figured they would get together one day. Yeah, me too. What? Don't lie. It's true. I'm not a liar like you. What? No mercy, huh? And we have Itari. She's like listening in. Sheesh. Uta really can't change unless Ren helps him out, huh? So it's like the driving force to continue Uta onward has been Renji. Oh, this bottom panel. And they're just laughing together. We have them in their younger years and them now as he's basically, you know, putting Uta on his back, Yomo carrying him away. You are my pain. You give me death as well as life. You cannot live with you nor without you. I cannot live with you nor without you. That is awesome. I like that panel right there. That is powerful. And we've had this quote for the longest time throughout Tokyo Ghoul. This is really cool to see. The life and friendship of Yomo and Uta. That's awesome. Very cool. And then we're switching right over. We have Amon on the ground, Donato walking straight over towards him. And we also had Takizawa and Little Bin, you know, on the sidelines. So are they going to show up or intervene during this fight right now? What's wrong? Let's start already. And, yep, there they are down there. Yeah. You see it? Huh. So that's Takizawa saying that. He's like, yes, see it? And Little Bin's like, huh? He basically grabbed Little Bin's head and is just like, look, come on, look harder. hey, and you see like Amon got back up and he's fighting back against Donato. Too shallow. Too shallow. He's had chances. Can he not go all out? You're the same as Amon. How so? Everyone knew his story at the CCG. Amon Kotaro is an orphan raised by a ghoul. He's experienced the cruelty of ghouls firsthand. He despises ghouls more than anyone else and strives for justice harder than anyone else. Everyone acknowledged his might. I also admired him. And the ghoul parent that raised him, Donato Porapora, the ghoul he's fighting right now. And now Little Bin is connecting the dots. It's like, oh, now I understand why this fight is so hard for Amon. Then why in the world would he hold back? That's the ghoul he's hated all this time, right? Because he can't kill him. Losing the thing you spent your life clinging to leaves you feeling empty, right? You know it happened to you. The lines are starting to blur between Amon and the guy who couldn't kill me. Is that the flashback right there? Yeah, I think that's the flashback, and that's Takizawa going in for an attack. Oh, wow. No, that's him against Hoji. His teacher, his subordinate, his leader. Oh my god, we're flashing back to that. Because we completely skipped over that. Between Amon and the guy who couldn't kill me. Hoji couldn't kill him. Wow, we're flashing back to that. Back then, I couldn't fully rid myself of my feelings. Because deep down, I knew that Hoji would never actually lose to someone like me. Oh, wow. And he's holding the cross too, and he's thinking of Hoji. You bastard. Now we're going back to Amon. He's just panting on the ground. Amon Kotaro, why the hell are you still wearing that thing? Why? Little motivational speaking right now, coming from Takizawa for Amon. Amon, you know already, don't you? Was I? And we have a young Amon and young Donato right there. Was I? Was I really still wearing it all this time? He's talking about the cross, I think. Because that's his reminder. That's what reminds him of his time at the orphanage, of his time with Donato. It's what spurs him forward. It's his driving force for being within the CCG to his hatred for ghouls. So yeah, like he's been wearing us this entire time. This world is twisted. And he's getting back up. Running straight for Donato. More flashbacks to Amon and Kaneki. Oh my god. And you damn ghouls are the ones twisting it. And he just smashes through Donato's Kagane. But I like this dialogue right here because it's like, and you damn ghouls are the ones twisting it. Because in a way right now, Amon technically is half ghoul. So he's a part of that hatred he has. So it's a very interesting dynamic. So in a way, you probably think Amon hates a part of himself after, you know, the time skip from Tokyo Ghoul Part 1. You cannot just assume your opponent is wrong without truly getting to know and understand them. That was his old way of thinking, and now he understands being a half ghoul, the ghoul side of things. He sees it from the other point of view. And he keeps pushing Donato back. I refuse to believe that's the right way to go about things. And he still has the cross right there. So he actually had another spare cross on him. Okay. Eye patch. It's thanks to this body that I finally learned a few things. Most ghouls will be regarded by humans as creatures to be feared. That fact will not change even if I use my justice to bring them to light and compare their faults. So, flashing back to the time he saved Psycho from Shikarai during Volume 4, I believe. I believe that was Volume 4. Yet the more I learn of this world, the more I realize, far more so than any of them, Donato Porapora is absolute evil. That is an incontrovertible truth. So, incontrovertible truth. Why do I wear this cross? I wear it. I've always known. To never forget my days at the orphanage. Ever since then, I felt nothing but hatred towards you. I've known, but I've ignored it all this time. And he's clenching it. You can see like some blood coming about because he's just squeezing his fist probably so hard. This world is twisted, and among the ones twisting it, among those that had been twisting it, was me. And he realizes now he is part of the problem. And my God, he just formed Soul Calibur right now. It's a giant cross as a sword. How is he doing that? Is it like, that's not Dojima, is it? There's no way that's Dojima. Or maybe it's Dojima combined with his Kagane skills, the way he's kind of been wrapping his Kagane into Dojima. I don't know, but it's a badass shot. He just formed frickin' Soul Calibur. Jesus. By the power of Christ, compel you. Damn, Amon. So then Donato is just looking at this, and he's probably like, ah, my boy, you formed the cross. And he's like, I loved him. I loved Donato. Final double spread page. He just struck through Donato. Damn. And then coming to that realization, sure, he was raised by him and he might have hated the fact that, you know, this guy, this ghoul raised him. It was still his father figure. And he was kind of treated differently than all the other kids at the orphanage in a way. So sure, he has that hatred, but like he's stating right here, he still secretly, deep down, loved Donato, and that's why, up until this point, he's been unable to fight him all out. So he just struck through Donato. I'm hoping Donato ain't dead yet, but it's good for Amon, but for the way I view Donato, I'm like, there's no way he can go out like this right now, but he honestly could. I really don't know. A Child's Heart, Aflame. End of chapter 171. Next issue. The Clown's Banquet begins. Okay. The Clown's Banquet begins. I think that might be indicating we're going to get more of the clown organization, maybe with Donato, maybe Furita next chapter. I am hoping that we go over to Kaneki and Furita next chapter, but this was a good chapter for TG Re this week. The extra week wait, I think, was worth it. This does now make last chapter's cliffhanger more enjoyable for me now that I know that Uta is in fact still alive and Renji and Uta kind of reconciled and, you know, Yomo just walked off carrying Uta on his back. And everything with this last section with Donato and Amon, I think, was very well done. And that pep talk, that little speech from Takizawa spurred Amon forward. So I really do like that. But I am hoping next week, 172, please, Ashita, give us Kaneki and Furita. That's what I want. I want some answers. We've been waiting long enough. Let's get to that moment. Stop dangling that in front of us and be like, oh, we're almost there. We're almost there. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to that. So that is my live reaction, guys, to chapter 171. My review for this chapter will be out later tomorrow, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter and get updated on when I'm kind of reading the chapter before it goes up on YouTube, feel free to follow me over on Twitter. I'll be talking about it later on there as well. So feel free to join the conversation over on Twitter. A link can be found in the description down below. But that's going to do it for me here, guys. So until next week, when we do the live reaction to chapter 172 of Tokyo Ghoul Re, I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys.